Arrienna Renee Day. Arianna, circa 2018. Andrew Terry. Missing since September 11th, 2018. Missing from Roanoke, Virginia. Classification: endangered missing. Sex: female. Race: black. Date of birth: May 28th, 2018, 6. Age: 3 months old. Height and weight: 2 feet 0 inches, 14 pounds. Clothing/jewelry description: a pink onesie and pink socks. Distinguishing characteristics: African American female. Black hair, brown eyes. Details of disappearance. Arienna was last seen at her home in the 1100 block of Hanover Avenue in Roanoke, Virginia on September 11th, 2018. Her mother, Jessica Day, stated she put her down to sleep, and when she came back an hour later to check on her, the baby was gone. She called the police at 11 p.m. When they arrived, they found no signs of forced entry, but the residence had been unlocked. The following day, police arrested Andrew Christopher Terry and charged him with illegal disposal of a body in Arienna's disappearance. A photo of Terry is posted with this case summary. Initially reported to be a cousin of Arienna's father, he is himself presumed to be her father. He was at Arienna's home on separate occasions the day she went missing and had communication with her mother up until the police were called. Terry lived in Blacksburg, Virginia with his girlfriend of 16 years old and their 2 children. But for years he had also been seeing Jessica off and on. He'd known her since childhood. Jessica has 4 older children and had told him she did not want to be a mother again. He had repeatedly offered to take custody of Arienna, but had also suggested she place the baby for adoption. Although Arienna's paternity has not been established, Jessica had filed for custody of her daughter and child support from Terry. Jessica reported that around midday on the day of Arienna's disappearance, Terry came by her apartment, put the baby down for a nap, and left for work. At 9:30 p.m., Jessica breastfed Arienna, then left the baby sleeping on her mother's bed. For the next half hour, she was in the kitchen, on the phone with Terry at least once, and walking around the apartment. She returned to her bedroom at 10 p.m. and found her 6-year-old asleep on the bed, but Arienna was gone. Jessica smelled cigarette smoke in the bedroom and, suspecting Terry had been there, immediately called him and asked where he'd taken Arienna. He said he didn't have her. Until 11 p.m., Jessica spoke to Terry several times over the phone and on Facebook Messenger, at one point asking him, "Are you harming her or setting me up for murder?" At 11 o'clock, Jessica called the police. When police met Terry at Jessica's home after Arienna's disappearance, they noticed his pants were wet and appeared to be muddy. He offered several explanations for this, but after he was questioned for several hours and took a break for a nap, he stated he'd fallen down a slope after digging his daughter's grave. The brown stains on his pants were never tested, and it's not clear whether they were mud. Terry gave a very different account of the crucial hours around Arienna's disappearance. He said he went back to Jessica's apartment after he finished work, and Jessica met him out front with Arienna and told him to take her. He said Arienna had a slight cut and general swelling on her face. He put the baby in his lap and drove towards Blacksburg. And 20 or 30 minutes into the drive, Arienna simply stopped breathing. He said he tried to revive her and failed, and he didn't seek medical attention for the baby because he was scared. Instead, Terry stated he took exit 128 off Interstate 81 in Arrienna, Virginia, and continued driving towards Blacksburg. Somewhere along the way, he stopped and dug a shallow grave for Arienna with his hands on a bank near the railroad tracks and the intersection of Cedar Run Road and Janelle Road. He covered her body with leaves. On the late afternoon of September 12th, Terry took police to the location, but dogs turned up no sign of the baby or a gravesite. As Terry had stated, the grave was so shallow that the wind might have uncovered Arienna's body. Police asked if he'd fabricated his story. He said he was telling the truth, and, "I swear to you, she's over there somewhere." Later that day, he said recanted, saying he had only brought police to the spot to show she wasn't there. When the police questioned him again on September 13th, Terry returned to his story about Arienna dying in his car and him burying her. Further searches turned up no evidence to support the story. However, Terry was tried for felony illegal disposal of a body in September 2019, a year after Arienna's disappearance. Jessica testified for the defense. She admitted she'd given some false statements to police about her daughter's disappearance and that she suffered from memory lapses. At various times, she said Arienna had smothered after falling asleep during breastfeeding, or that she was kidnapped by an adoption agency, or that she had sold her. She admitted none of those statements were true. Jessica also admitted she had called Terry's defense attorney in 2019 to say Arienna was alive and well, and that she had called Terry and asked, "Should I wait until court to say I gave her to your cousin?" She suggested Arienna may have been injured by falling from her carrier, and that the true story was that Terry had taken her away. Location data from Terry's cellular phone tracked his route from Roanoke to Blacksburg that night. He bought cigarettes and a lighter at a convenience store before going to Jessica's home. The data showed a pause around the intersection of Janelle Road and Cedar Run Road for 6 minutes, and the prosecution said that during this time, Terry buried Arienna. Terry's defense attorney questioned whether the baby had actually died. After hours of deliberation, the jury was unable to reach a verdict. Terry will have to be tried again. Although police believe Arienna is deceased, they're not sure of the circumstances of her death, and both parents remain persons of interest. Her case remains unsolved, but foul play is suspected due to the circumstances involved. Investigating agency: Roanoke Police Department 540-853-5959. Source information: the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. WDBJ 7. Locate the missing. Facebook page for Arienna Day. Roanoke Police Department. The Roanoke Times. WSLS 10.
Yes, he did get arrested, and when he went to jail, he did. Now he did say he buried the baby by the railroad tracks. We don't know
he buried the baby by the railroad tracks.
Yes, he did. It was a statement issued that said that he allegedly said he buried Arienna by the railroad track. He even took the officer to the so-called place where he so-called supposed to have buried Arienna. But when he took the officers there, that's when they realized, wait a minute, this man ain't buried this baby. This man ain't got no parts in playing this. We pushed him for almost 24 hours, making him, you took it to the point he just wanted to leave and said, okay, yeah, whatever you say, yeah, you said I did, let's go.
But so he was actually in there over 30 hours. He was being questioned over 30 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was like,
and if you look up the articles, it states that from him, he said that he only said that he buried her because he had to prove that he never was a part of this. And when they went there was no baby. Okay. Like over this, like I've been doing this for 4 years.
Mallory is the main one that's been teaming up and keeping an eye on what's been going on. And also Sheena, how you doing, Sheena?
How you doing?
Where you calling in from, Sheena?
Roanoke, Virginia, exactly where the baby went missing from.
And Mallory, where are you calling in from?
North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina.
Can you take me back to how y'all came across this story in Roanoke, Virginia?
They had posted about a missing baby from Roanoke, Virginia. When I first started looking at the case, it seemed very strange to me. Jessica Renee Day is her mother, and she had gave a statement. The media had posted it. She basically said that someone came in and kidnapped her 3-month-old baby. All the stories that she gave us never made sense. And still to this day, it does not make sense. I'm in communications with the mother. If you guys go to my page, you will see us going back and forth with each other.